Well, it's the final day of the Flemington Melbourne Cup Carnival in Benway. We've made our way down to Hosier Lane.
Yeah, well, it's iconic, isn't it? So we've got Hosier Lane, we've got the MCG, and of course we've got Flemington where we celebrate Champions Day. And this really has evolved this day. I think we're now paying dividends. You know, for what we saw on Derby Day, we maybe stole a little bit from there and we stole a little bit from Cup Day as well. Now we've got a bumper day, last day of the carnival. And you know what? Victoria loves a grand final.
They certainly do. So we've got 3 Group 1 features to touch on, starting with the Darley Champion Sprint. Who did you find there?
Yeah, interesting race. I mean, do you go first past the post and hope that you get a bit of a return out of it, or do you look for the value? I think the value is Barraquil. I think the horse to beat's clearly Bella. Giga Kick flying. Everywhere you look, there's quality. And for a race this deep into the spring, I'm so glad the field's held up. What did you think?
I'm with Bella. I think she's not shown any signs that she's not still going well. Mare's in purple patch of form. That's what she's been doing this preparation. If the team are happy with her, everyone's happy with her. I am too.
Yeah, it's hard to believe she's the second highest prize earner in Australian racing history, and yet we still kind of sleep on her record a touch. She's the best sprinter in the land. There's no doubt about it. That said, it's all about price. Does she win more than 1 in 4? I probably think there are a few chances in there that could mix it up. So I'm happy to go with Barraquil each way.
Well, the last time when she won the Everest into the Russell boarding was the first time she'd won twice consecutively.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to take her on at the price. I could entertain Giga Kick. I could kind of entertain Overpass, but my thought with Overpass is if they were so hell-bent on going into the Everest first up that they were happy to risk missing the Everest as they did, that says to me there's going to be regression second up. So there's not a stack of speed, and the race shape says Overpass, but I'm happy to back Barraquil and hope that down the straight they can kind of tinker with a few things and get themselves sorted, because the past couple of runs down the straight have been a bit iffy.
All right, Ben, let's have a look now at the VRC Champions Mile.
What do we do with Jenny? What do we do with her? So that's the question. She popped, I guess, in the Cox Plate. Now we drop back to a more ideal trip, but it feels like the 3rd or 4th grand final of her preparation. I'm not a huge fan of that. You've got proven milers, you've got Mr. B who's dropping back. I'm happy to kind of take I'd like to think it's a fresher approach. So another Will who was fantastic the other day in winning, feels a horse on the up. I think Fangirl, we can completely forgive what happened last time out, just seems to need an ideal race shape, but if it's a matter of sort of getting a suck run in, sit sprint, she's the one that can launch over the top of them late. So a couple at an each way price. What do you think? You always like Mr. B. Is that his day?
It could be. I think it could be any number of horses' day. It's pretty tricky. So I think Mr. B could win, but I'm with broadsiding each way.
Yeah, even if people wanted to mount a case for Steffi Magnetica, I could see interest there. So just depends which way you want to go. I think Cox Plate back is tough. That's my thinking. My
only query with Steffi was the Golden Eagle her grand final, and can she go one more? I mean, it was a super run. She could have won that race.
Yeah.
Should have.
And if that's the case, you're striking a line through the vast majority. Like Jenny will be gone, Mr. B will be gone. They've all had grand finals. It's that kind of spring, and this race is really a little weird because you do have, horses that peak towards a Cox Plate or a King Charles or an Everest, and now they all meet here kind of in a middle trip. So it's just about who handles that best, and that's why I'm looking for something maybe had this planned a fair way out.
Well, we see our Cox Plate champion, Via Sistina, in the Tab Champion Stakes, that final Group 1.
Yeah, we do, and again, she bumps into a horse like, say, a Without a Fight, who's heading overseas, and you think, okay, well, you've been off the scene for, a year? You're probably the best horse in the race if the real Via doesn't rock up. Is $7 worthwhile? I think it reeks of a pipe opener. I'm happy to go with a Tissue, who loves the track, is a proven Group 1 performer, $2.10 a place as opposed to $1.60 for Via Sistina to win, when she's got to regress off that Cox Plate win. She's the one to beat, Via, but I'll go a different direction. You?
I'm going with some value again. I'm with Elias, 2,400 back to 2,000.
Yeah, well, I don't hate that angle. 24 was probably a bridge too far, wasn't it? And off the back of what we saw in Sydney, this was a horse that was really well favoured in a Caulfield Cup. So completely understand that. Via is probably first past the post, but at $1.60, is it better than bank interest? Maybe, but not for me.
Hopefully we found some value for you for the final day of the Flemington Cup Carnival, and happy punting.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.